So, hello everyone, and thanks for tuning in, guys. And yes, it is Mental Health Mondays where we come out and talk about the mental health piece. So, guys, I hope you had an awesome weekend. And I hope everything today is going your way because Mondays are usually a little hectic for people. So I like to say, I hope you're having a happy Monday. So, guys, I am most definitely here with your mental health moments, guys, because I come out and talk about the mental health piece as it is in my community and as it's a stigma with some people talking about it. So I try to come out and talk about it so that I can help people that may be going through something. I'll help them kind of open up and talk a little bit more about it and get help, because the most important thing for me is that you get help. If you're having any type of issues, go ahead and get some help, because guys, I am not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I am none of those things. I'm just a young lady that comes out and talk about the mental health piece as it is in my community and as I deal with it, to share with everyone some of the things I go through and how I am getting the help that I need. And I just want to put that out there, guys, because if you don't know how to get help, check your primary care physician, check with BetterHelp, because I have been seeing a lot of stuff on the internet concerning BetterHelp. They can get you to who you need to be to. You just go on, do an assessment online, and they will help you get to where you need to be. But guys, I am going to jump right in on it. So today, guys, we'll be talking about triggers. Now, let me explain to you what triggers are. People who have been through trauma usually have triggers. And a mental trigger, also known as a emotional or psychological trigger, is a stimulus that causes a strong emotional reaction. So that means, like, for me, some of my triggers are when I hear of death. That's a big trigger for me. Or I hear of abuse, or I hear of homelessness, or if I hear about special needs. Those are some triggers for me. So recently, like I told you guys, I found out that one of my biggest supporters had passed, and it had me kind of a little bit all over the place, because death, I'm still dealing with the fact that death still bothers me. So I have been to some funerals, and I have been going through some things, dealing with it. So that's why I want to come out, guys, and talk about triggers, because triggers are very important, and to know how to handle someone who's having those types of triggers. So guys, those are some things that trigger me, because I've been through abuse, and I've lost my mom during COVID, and I lost my dad and my brother 3 weeks apart in 2016. So, guys, and I have, like I tell everybody, I've been through abuse before. So those are some of the things that trigger me, and trying to deal with raising a child that has a mental health issue. So those are a lot of things that I like to come out and talk about. And that's a lot in a nutshell in itself. But guys, we got to be able to know that whatever we're going through, we can get help for it. Had I had known earlier, I would have gotten the help I need. But like I say, the stigma in our community is that, you can handle it, you can deal with things, you can, you can go to church, and you can pray about it, which I do not knock prayer, and I do not knock going to church. But guys, we needed a different type of tool to get through this. Don't get me wrong, prayer will help you. Going to church will help you. And I know that. But also, guys, you got to remember, they have, just like you have a doctor, just like you have you see a specialist. That's what a therapist is. She's a specialist in her field. She knows what she's doing. She knows how to get you help. She knows how to tell you what to do to help you. And so guys, it doesn't mean that you have to get on any type of medication. It just means that you may be able to do it a little differently. But you first need to go and get that diagnosis before you can even start to even think about the healing part of it. You need to get the diagnosis, tell someone, let someone know what's going on. Don't be ashamed to do that, guys, because I was not ashamed because I wasn't getting better. And then once I went, like I always tell you guys, the onion opened up, and guess what? I had a lot of other things right in that same time. So that's why I'm talking about triggers today, because I've had some triggers lately that have really been, causing me to be a little depressed and a little down. But I am working through those things, and I have to take it one day at a time. It says, in the context of mental health, a trigger is something that can bring or worsen symptoms of mental illness. Triggers can be internal or external and can include memories, objects, people, phrases, odors, sounds, social situations, and some songs. And guys, when I say those songs, I say, like, guys, when you listen to certain music, guys, you know how it brings back your memories, of, oh, I remember that when I was a little kid. I remember my dad playing that, because I have that when I listen to certain music. And then that's what a trigger is like. It can be something that triggers you to put you in a different state of mind, and you have to be able to try to control it. And that's the most important part, is trying to get the help you need so you know how to handle it when the triggers come. Okay, this often happens to people with a history of trauma or who are recovering from mental illness, self-harm, addiction, and or eating disorders. When someone has a history of any of these issues, being unexpectedly exposed to imaginary or content that deals with what the history can cause harm or relapse. So it causes you to relapse and go back and think about the trauma all over again. And so that's why I said, make sure you're getting the help you need, because with me, I just know that when I'm having those issues, I have to sit down, relax. And sometimes, guys, I actually have to take a nap, go into prayer, and journal, and I read. I keep reading to help me. And that's what I do. But guys, for you, it may be different. You may need to do something else. Many different stimuli can be possible triggers, and they are often strongly influenced by past experiences. So it's something that happened to you in the past that brings it back up to you. But guys, understanding, identifying, and working to prevent triggers can be empowering and effective, especially in comparison for supporting someone after they have been triggered. So they're just letting you know, when you support someone who's been triggered, it's a good thing to try to help them, as when they're having the triggers. So guys, I'm gonna let you know a few types of triggers and responses to them. So guys, triggers vary widely from person to person. Many different stimuli can be possible triggers, and they are often strongly influenced by past experiences. So I think I'm going to talk to you a little bit about these 4 triggers, and we'll go from there. So guys, number 1, you have external triggers. External triggers, think senses, sounds, sights, smells, textures that elect responses based on past experiences. Example, smelling the cologne that was worn by a loved one who has passed away can trigger grief. Another one, guys, is internal triggers. Internal triggers are strong feelings that arise based on past experiences. An example, making a doctor's appointment after a negative experience can trigger fear. So guys, I know that one for sure. You guys know I know that one, because when I was going through all the doctor's appointments and everything, and you got to go back to the doctor after you have been diagnosed with something or had your surgery, it's very hard sometimes. And another trigger, guys, is the trauma triggers. Strong feelings that arise based on past trauma. An example, the sound of firecrackers can be trauma triggers for veterans of war, because they're hearing the noise and the popping, and those are the things that can trigger them. The next one is called symptom triggers. Symptom triggers are a physical change can trigger larger mental health issues. Example, a lack of sleep could trigger symptoms of bipolar disorder. And it says, for some, a trigger might cause physical response, heavy breathing, sweating, crying. For someone, a trigger can elect an emotional reaction like thinking they're being attacked. For some a trigger can cause harm or a relapse. So guys, that's why I talk about the different types of mental health, because, I talk about mental health. I talk about, all types of mental health, but I like to come in and talk about like triggers and different things that can trigger you to go into a mental health episode. So that's what was happening to me recently, guys. That is the reason why I kind of schedule my videos, because I was going through something. I'm continuing to go through something right now, and I asked everybody to keep me in prayer, because a lot of things were triggering me recently. So I've had to kind of shut down a little bit and rest up and get myself together. That is the reason why I kind of schedule my videos, guys, because sometimes I don't really have the energy to come out and do videos. So I try to do them ahead of time when I am feeling my best and schedule them, because you don't know when you're going to have like a episode, or you don't know when you're going to have a mental health issue that comes up. When you're dealing with mental health, this is something you're fighting with every day. You're dealing with every day. You're trying to get better daily. And in a world that we live in, guys, something is always happening. Something is always going on. It's just that you got to know how to react to each situation that you're going through. So after experiencing a trigger, a person may have big negative feelings, overwhelmed, powerless, fear, etc. These feelings can be detrimental to mental health and are often a challenge to effectively address after they arise. So guys, like I say, the best thing is to get the help you need, so you'll know how to navigate when you are having the triggers. And it also says the behavior that emerges after a trigger can range from relatively minimal crime to serious acts of violence. Someone exposed to a trigger may experience impaired judgment or awareness. So guys, that's why we have to be careful. We know someone that is going through something, guys. We need to try to be there to help them. And guys, the last thing I'm going to talk about is ways to help someone who gets triggered. Be curious. Learn to engage in difficult situations with a focus on maintaining a positive relationship. Learn what is triggering for those around you and try to avoid causing pain. Remember to respect an individual's right to not share or share on their own. And guys, I can't tell you this enough. Be empathetic and listen without judgment. That's the biggest one, guys. Listening without judgment. Be a safe space for those around you. Avoid taking another's behavior personally, nor making negative judgments about someone's feeling and or behavior. Guys, make sure you are maintaining good boundaries. Boundaries help everyone to be clear on expectations, which adds security and predictability. Guys, another one is help with coping. Ask about strategies that work for the person to relax and take care of themselves. Encourage more time spent on self-care activities. So guys, I really want to use that, because self-care is the best care. When I talk on Wednesdays about self-care, that's what I'm talking about. These all go together. They are one. So guys, and the next thing I want to let you know is use trigger warnings. If you develop content, providing a warning before potentially triggering content, provide time for people to prepare if needed to opt out of the challenge or emotional materials. So that's like for me, guys, if I'm doing content, I want you guys to know that if the content is triggering to you, please shut it down. Don't watch or anything. But I just wanted to come out and talk to you guys about the importance of triggers, and knowing that people who are dealing with mental health, they tend to have triggers. They have different types of triggers, and they don't know when the triggers are going to happen. So that's why, guys, I come out and talk about mental health, because mental health is near and dear to my heart. And because I go through mental health, I like to talk about it and let others know the importance of getting the help you need. It's a lot of moms around that are doing so many things. And I look at all the moms that have a lot of kids, the content creators, and they are trying to do things what's best for them. Guys, I could easily come on and say negative things about people, but I don't want to do videos about negativity. I want to stay in a positive motion. We got to remember one thing. When some of these creators are going through things and doing things in their life, they may have a mental health issue that they are not addressing. And so for me, I would like to say, just pray for them. Say a word of prayer. And I think we live in a society that's always trying to criticize everyone. It's not about being critical. It's about being more positive. So guys, that's what I wanted to say today. And I want you to know the importance of mental health. Know that mental health is real. People are suffering each and every day with mental health. So guys, like they say, be curious, learn what you can and know how to engage. Be empathetic and listen without judgment, and maintain good boundaries. Help with coping and use trigger warnings. So guys, that's the end of the video. But I want to say thank you for all my subscribers for subscribing to the channel. You guys rock. I would not be where I am without you guys. So I want to let you know that I appreciate each and every one that comes on and check out one of my videos. And I thank you so much. And also, do not forget to like, share, and hit the notification bell. So each time I load a video, you're there. So guys, I will most definitely see you in the next one. Have a great one, guys. And remember, mental health is real. People are dealing with it on a regular basis. Bye-bye, guys.